Are you Nickelodeon? Because you're the only channel I'm tuned into. Anyway, hello! Today we're going to be reacting to Defunctland, the history of the Nickelodeon Hotel. Anyway, let's just jump right into it.
In 1999, the children's network Nickelodeon was changed forever with the premiere of a new cartoon series named Spongebob SquarePants. Nickelodeon
What is Spongebob SquarePants?
had developed many popular TV shows in its 20-year existence, but it had never had a hit like SpongeBob. The show debuted to high ratings, with an audience comparable to Nickelodeon's biggest series at the time, Rugrats. But SpongeBob found massive success in an area that other Nickelodeon shows hadn't: merchandising. The company had purposefully shied away from extending the brand too far from the network itself.
I actually do wonder sometimes, how did SpongeBob get so big? Like, if you think about it, like pitching that to a big cartoon show brand, like, it's a sponge that works at, like, essentially Burger King. And his boss is a crab, and his coworker is a squid. And he just goes to work. And his best friend is a starfish. And they live under the water. Like, that sounds like the most boring show ever, but somehow it became, like, the biggest show ever.
While Nickelodeon had
also, Rugrats? Rugrats? Oh, by the way, let's take, like, 5 infants and, like, put them together in a room. Huh? That, like, makes no sense. These people are so creative.
Some of its properties into toys, feature films, and video games. They feared that too much merchandising would contradict the brand's goal of appealing to young audiences. Nickelodeon was supposed to appear as a network run by kids, for kids, and the executives believed that children could tell when they were being advertised to, thus interfering with the channel's primary objective. On top of this, a general distaste for the Walt Disney Company and its practices had solidified Nickelodeon's motivation to limit size and avoid feeling corporate. All of this was thrown out the window after SpongeBob premiered. The potential profit from merchandising the show's characters and setting was too large to ignore, and the title character would turn into Nickelodeon's unofficial mascot, its own Mickey Mouse, within just a few years. It appeared as though Nickelodeon was cashing in.
That's actually crazy to think of SpongeBob as the Mickey Mouse of Nickelodeon. That's actually, like, kind of blowing my mind.
But they were still concerned with expanding outside of their comfort zone and tarnishing their brand, in lieu of building its own stores like Disney, a type of project that was deemed too risky. Nickelodeon instead licensed its properties to anyone that wanted them. If you could slap a SpongeBob sticker on it, then Nickelodeon would sign a document that legally allowed you to slap a SpongeBob sticker.
Oh my god, wait, I wanted to tell you guys, I had a friend growing up, and every time that I would go to her house, her sister's bathroom, I would, like, use it all the time, would be completely decorated in SpongeBob. Like, floor to ceiling, the curtains, the walls, the toilet, all of the utensils on the sink, it was all SpongeBob. She was so obsessed. Like, her older sister was so obsessed with SpongeBob.
On it. And since they were already beginning to look like their main competitor, why not act like them too? And what's more Disney than rushing into a huge, difficult project fueled by temporary success? Welcome to the Nick Hotel. Going up?
Nickelodeon! Whoa. Oh my god, my bathroom is, to be fair, yeah, you're right. My bathroom is completely Sanrio themed. I'm a bit obsessed with Kuromi, so I have I have a Kuromi bathroom.
On October 9th, 2003, Nickelodeon announced that they had formed a partnership with the hotel chain Holiday Inn for the purpose of transforming its Orlando resort, the Holiday Inn Family Suites Resort, into the first ever Nickelodeon hotel. The property was
my god, they weren't even being sly at all about it. This is in Orlando, where the Disney is?
5 years old, having just opened in the summer of 1999. The resort was Holiday Inn's first all-suite hotel.
Wait, that's so funny. They had a kid check-in. That's like giving your younger sibling a controller that's not plugged in.
800 suites, 2 pools, water playgrounds, a restaurant, and
the Coca-Cola.
The hotel was located just east of the Walt Disney World Resort,
Dude.
And transportation was provided to all 4 Disney parks.
That's
Nickelodeon
crazy.
had originally considered constructing a new resort themselves, but decided against this due to their constant fear of failure. Orlando was of course the perfect location for the resort's pilot test.
True.
It had a huge tourist population of families and young children. And
Look
the
at the
company
swag
had
on
two
all these
attractions at
people.
Universal Studios Florida, Nickelodeon Studios and the newly opened Jimmy Neutron's Nicktoon Blast. The Holiday Inn was located.
Okay, I went there last year, and that is, I think, a Minions ride now. I remember that building specifically.
Located closer to Walt Disney World than it was to Universal Studios, but Nickelodeon would take what they could get. During the announcement, Nickelodeon revealed that they had plans to build 4 more resorts throughout the country.
No
the transformation
way.
of the Holiday Inn Family Suites Resort was to be completed in early 2005, and the renovation would cost an estimated $20 million. Nickelodeon began advertising the resort leading up to its release.
20 million? Dude, that must be because of the advertisement. You know what I mean? Like the brand names and stuff, they must have to pay out some sort of royalties, because that sounds insane.
Began to book their stays at the new hotel.
Did you hear? Nickelodeon has built a hotel just for you.
No way!
Opening this Memorial Day, the brand new Nickelodeon Family Suites by Holiday Inn in Orlando, Florida. You get your own bedroom.
Sweet!
2 humongous pools with slides and flumes, a giant arcade, character breakfasts, and live Nick entertainment. Parents can book reservations by logging on to www.nickhotel.com or call 1-866-GO-TO-NICK.
If I saw that as a kid, I would have begged my parents. Are you joking? That sounds awesome.
On March 9th, 2005,
please.
the Nickelodeon Family Suites Holiday Inn, commonly referred to as the Nick Hotel,
Whoa.
opened its doors.
Is that
Guests would
Backyardigans?
walk up to the bright orange resort,
Go Diego,
with
go,
characters peeking
SpongeBob.
through the window of the main entrance. This led to the lobby and check-in desk.
Oh
There were
my
4 room
God,
layouts that
that's
guests
so
could choose from.
sick!
The first was a 1-bedroom suite designed.
Dude, that's so sick. Man, I hate that hotels now aren't themed anymore. Bring back themed hotels. This is so sad. I can't believe there's so much color and excitement and stuff. I couldn't, even as an adult, I would be like, oh my God, this is so cool. But I think they don't do themed hotels anymore because of real estate stuff. Like if they want to resell, it's a lot harder to resell if they have a giant mural of a splat on the wall.
For 1 to 2 people. This included a king-sized bed, full kitchen, and a dishwasher. The second was a 2-bedroom kid suite. This included a private parents' room, a living area, a bathroom, and a themed kids' room.
See,
the
that's
kids' room
so
would either
awesome.
feature a bunk bed or 2
You
twin.
know what? Actually, sorry, I keep pausing. But you know what? They still do this, but not on Disney property. When I went to visit last year, me and my friends stayed in a themed Airbnb that had all the different movies and Disney and Nickelodeon stuff, and those were sick. And they're cheaper than staying on Disney property.
Beds, and the rooms were themed to different Nickelodeon properties, such as SpongeBob, The Fairly OddParents, Jimmy Neutron, Dora the Explorer, Rugrats, Danny Phantom, and more. Guests could request a specific character room and would be assigned to it if available. The kids' rooms also featured a television, and some came with a PlayStation 2. Guests could rent games from the hotel for $5.
They could smoke weed and play Burnout Revenge on the PS2. Wait, probably not smoke weed because they're kids.
Or bring their own. There was also a CD player and an activity table in most of the suites. Unlike the parents' room, there was no door separating the kids' room from the living area. This was due to a county law restricting doors on kid suites for safety reasons.
Wait, really?
The parents' room was unthemed and featured 2 side tables, a closet, a 25-inch TV, and a makeup desk. The main living area featured a pull-out.
I'm sorry, did he say there was a law against putting doors on kids' suites? That is weird. That is strange and unusual. I hope that law does not exist anymore.
Couch, a rocking chair, a dining table, and a 25-inch TV. The third suite layout was a 3-bedroom kid suite. This came with 2 private parent rooms, both with king-sized beds,
Whoa.
a themed kids' room with a bunk bed and pull-out cot, a full kitchen, a full dining room, and 2 bathrooms. The fourth and final layout was Nick Hotel's honeymoon suite, called the Nick at Night Suite.
Whoa, the honeymoon suite? Why is everything white? I think I know why.
Included a heart-shaped whirlpool, mood lighting, scented bath lotion,
Ooh.
an extra-large shower,
Oh my God, Defunctland, stop.
and only 1 private bedroom.
Oh, when he talks to me like this, I can't take it.
Leave those kids at home. For some reason, these rooms didn't last very long, and it seems that they were discontinued within a few years of the hotel's opening.
What?
All suites had the option of a wake-up call from a Nickelodeon character, and simple room service was available. The suites opened from...
Hello? No, this is Patrick. Dude, they could. I bet there's like a Patrick guy, and they're like, "Hello, is this my wake up call?" They're like, "No, this is Patrick," and he hung up on him. Oh my god.
From the outside, resulting in the kid suites having no windows. 14 six-story buildings housed the suites. The main structure comprised of 9 buildings, enclosing the lagoon pool, and the other 5 buildings enclosed the Oasis pool. The main area also featured the lobby, the fitness center, and Studio B, which was a space for special events such as conferences, birthday parties, and starting in 2009 for inexplicable reasons, weddings. The lagoon pool featured a basketball court, mini golf.
Oh my god, I want to get married at the Nickelodeon Hotel. Please tell me this still exists.
A pool and a kiddie area, the Lagoon Bar and Grill poolside restaurant, and a large water park.
That is
the main
so
attraction
sick.
for children staying.
Something in Teenage Robot Girl, Timmy Turner, Rugrats. That is so cool.
At the resort. The water park featured large cutouts of Nickelodeon characters, multiple water slides, water features, and a large water bucket at the top of the structure. This would periodically fill up, tip over, and douse guests with water.
That's
and at
so
certain times
sick.
of the day, the water would be colored green to simulate slime. This was treated as a special event, with hotel employees gathering everyone and getting them excited for the mass slime.
That is so
The Oasis
cool.
pool area featured another poolside bar, a kiddie area, a spa, and a less elaborate water park. This was supposed to be the more
Guys, be right back. It's my day off tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the Nickelodeon spa.
relaxing area than the often crowded lagoon pool. In between the 2 hotel structures would be a building referred to as the mall. The mall featured an arcade, a kids spa, and a gift shop, which sold both Nickelodeon and Universal Studios merchandise. There was a 4D theater,
I'm sorry, what is the kids spa? I don't know what that is, and I don't think that's appropriate.
which had a 3D screen, moving seats, bubbles, and water effects. This would show a
Bubbles!
SpongeBob 4D film, as well as 15-minute highlight reels from recent movies, such as
Bro,
the Ice
yeah,
Age
Dan Snyder must have had some influence on the no kids' doors in the kids' rooms, and they have a kids' spa.
franchise, and later, Pacific Rim. There was also a theater named Studio Nick for game shows and live character shows.
Studio what?
When the hotel opened, Studio Nick had
Ew.
2 game shows, Who Knows Best and Nick Live. Who Knows Best was a
Aw.
game show that tested how well families knew each other, while Nick Live was a show in which families would compete against other families in
Ooh.
physical challenges and trivia,
Barnyard.
with the winner getting slimed. A smaller scale version of this show called Nick Live Poolside would be performed by the lagoon pool, with a small
Whoa.
dunk tank dedicated to the show. The Nick Hotel also had a wide array of dining options. The mall had its own food court, with restaurants rotating in and out from time to time.
Okay, these mascots are terrifying. They couldn't have done it. Like, how does a person fit in this mask? Dude, look how short this kid is. Can you see that? There's like a kid right next to here, and then there's there's SpongeBob.
Restaurants included A&W, Pizza Hut Express, Antonio's Pizzeria, and Starbucks.
No
There was a buffet
way.
open for breakfast and lunch, an adult bar named the Nick at Night Lounge, and the
Nick at
hotel's signature
Night.
restaurant, the Nicktoons Cafe.
Dude, what the heck is Aang? I hope he could blink, because that is so insane if those eyes came up to you.
This reservation-only character dining restaurant served a breakfast and dinner buffet.
No
The main appeal
way.
of the Nicktoons Cafe was, of course, the character meet and greets.
And now a brief tangent on Nickelodeon character
I'm so glad he's going to talk
costumes.
about the
The
costumes.
Nick Hotel allowed guests to meet many of their favorite Nickelodeon characters. There were meet and greets set up throughout the hotel, Studio Nick character shows such as SpongeBob
Oh, see, yeah, that one's way better, that SpongeBob right there.
Live, and dance parties in the pool area.
Oh,
The art of
yeah?
turning a 2-dimensional cartoon into a 3-dimensional walk-around costume is underappreciated. If done correctly, it can bring a beloved character to life. If done
Wow.
incorrectly,
Blue's Clues.
it is creepy. Today, Disney's walk-around characters rarely come off as unsettling. This is because of the talented actors that portray them, the brilliant artists that design them, and years of trial and error.
Yeah, oh my
Nickelodeon did
God.
not have the benefit of the latter. All of the Nick Hotel character
Oh.
costumes seem to be designed in such a way that the characters appear as though they are always smiling for a picture. However, this only works if they are staring directly at the camera, which they almost never are. On the other hand, Disney's costumes are designed to be multi-purposed. For instance, when Mickey is smiling for a picture, he will tilt his head up slightly. By design, he appears to be smiling more from this angle. When he tilts his head back down, he is still smiling, but it is more neutral, as opposed to relentless and terrifying. Also, most Disney costumes are designed
SpongeBob doing the gritty is crazy.
for some amount of neck movement. This gives the characters more life, as they don't appear as walking sculptures. Many of Nickelodeon's costumes featured heads that were too large to move.
Wait,
This
these are so sick though. Oh my god, this is like actually so pretty.
resulted in a surplus of premium-grade nightmare fuel. Made worse if the children actually did have a nightmare, they would turn on their bed light to reveal the character staring at them while they sleep.
Oh my god, I forgot to tell you guys, when I slept in like the themed Airbnb, I slept in the Star Wars room. And when I like woke up one night in the middle of the night, I looked at the wall and Darth Vader was like pointing his lightsaber at me. It was so scary, but then I kind of liked it. I don't know.
Every character at the Nick Hotel looked like they were on drugs at all times.
This isn't
Characters
bad
appearing at the
though.
resort included Spongebob, Squidward,
I feel like if they just made their eyes okay, that's bad. That's actually really bad. What the heck? They put look at her bra. What happens if it falls?
Sandy, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Dora, Boots, Diego, Blue, Danny Phantom, Aang, Cosmo,
Whoa.
Wanda, Jimmy Neutron,
Holy crap! What? Can we look at Wanda again
Danny
one more
Phantom,
time?
Aang, Cosmo, Wanda.
That is insane. Wanda's head is the size of a small child. Oh my god! Dude, aren't they not supposed to be big like that? That is so strange. Nightmare.
Jimmy Neutron,
Also, sorry, I'm gonna look at Wanda one more time.
Danny Phantom,
I want you guys to look
Aang,
at something.
Cosmo, Wanda.
This is where, do you guys see where I'm like circling? There's meant to be a fire extinguisher right here, and there is not one. So let's hope that those fairy odd parents can put out a fire.
Jimmy Neutron, Angelica, the Power Rangers,
The Power Rangers!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, those are pretty good.
Millie and Geo of Team Umizoomi.
Team Umizoomi.
Ming Duckling.
Wonder Pets.
Fanboy and Chum Chum. Chase and Marshall, the Paw
Bro, millennial talking. He doesn't know what these are. Come on. Paw Patrol.
Patrol dogs. Pablo, the Bubble
The Bubble Guppies.
and Little
Bubble. Guppies. Little Bill.
Bill. The costume designs improved over time, but they were still not optimal for character shows.
But Squidward, today is the day that we honor the greatest sandwich in the 7 seas, the Krabby Patty.
Behind the
Bro,
mall,
how did that, like, look at his legs. Oh my gosh, that's like messing with my eyes. So those are real legs, but I guess they're thin? Or maybe his body is just so big, it makes the legs look so small.
Seas, the Krabby Patty.
Also, he can't bend his elbows.
behind the mall, there was a man-made
He's
lake.
shrimping it.
While it was not accessible to guests, various statues of Nickelodeon characters were placed on it. The hotel also had Christmas festivities named the Let It Snow Celebration. The resort was decorated in bright Christmas lights, and it offered hot chocolate and s'mores around fire pits.
That's so
Many
cozy.
of the walk-around characters were dressed in seasonal costumes, and there was a special Studio Nick character show called Celebrate Nickmas.
Wow.
So how much did it cost? The renovation to create the
$5
resort ended
million.
up costing around $25 million, and a total of 777 suites were available to book. Prices
Wow.
fluctuated throughout the year. A 2-bedroom kid suite cost between $135 and $275 a night, while a 3-bedroom kid suite cost between $300 and $600 a night.
Oh
the
my
buffet was around
gosh.
$10 for adults, $8 for kids, and free for anyone under 12. The Nicktoons Cafe character dining
Me when I was like 15, my parents always like, "Yep, she's 11." Oh my god, I can't believe how many times I've gotten away with that. Like, "Oh yeah, she goes under the kids meal."
cost $17 for an adult and $10 for kids.
Okay.
An all-access wristband in later years would allow guests access to the 4D experience and other activities in the mall area.
That's
this
not that
cost around
bad.
$20. So if you did the math, a family of 4 spending 2 nights and a full day at the hotel would cost over $750 during peak season. While this
Really?
was expensive, the Nick Hotel operated as a resort, with enough activities and attractions to keep guests on property during their stay. This
Yeah.
was different than Disney.
And then you get chartered to and from like all of the different resorts. That doesn't seem that bad.
As more often than not, Walt Disney World Resort hotel guests
That's
will
the
be
Gaylord
purchasing
Palms?
tickets to
Wait,
one
no.
or more of the property's theme parks. On April 30th, 2005, just over a month after the Nick Hotel opened its doors, Nickelodeon Studios at Universal Studios Florida closed.
What?
A time capsule had been buried outside of the studio in 1992. Kids voted on what they wanted to be placed in the capsule, and items such as a Back to the Future VHS, an MC Hammer CD, and a Nintendo Game Boy were buried. The capsule was to remain for 50 years, to be opened in 2042. After Nickelodeon Studios closed, the time capsule was moved to the Nick Hotel where it was reburied and displayed for guests. The
Oh.
Nickelodeon Hotel continued to operate normally for over a decade, adding new entertainment options and shows periodically. In May of 2012, Double Dare
Ew.
Live, a new game show at Studio Nick based off of the hit TV show, debuted. In 2014, the
Yippee!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Summer of the Shell began. Some rooms were rethemed to the heroes, and a laser maze based off of the TV show was added to the mall. In 2015, the Nick Hotel
I have a Ninja Turtle story, but you're gonna have to find it on my shorts.
celebrated its 10th anniversary, but just a month after the celebration ended, the Nick Hotel would receive some devastating news. On January 29, 2016, Nickelodeon announced that the Nickelodeon Family Suites would be rebranded back into a Holiday Inn. The news, while sad for many, was not necessarily shocking. There were a few signs that the Nick Hotel might not be around for much longer. For
Aw.
one, Nickelodeon had a severely reduced presence at Universal Studios Florida. Since
Oh.
Nickelodeon Studios had closed in 2005 and Jimmy Neutron's Nicktoon Blast had closed in 2011.
No!
While walk-around characters still appeared at the park, there was no attraction dedicated to Nickelodeon. This made marketing the resort and the park together slightly more difficult, and more than anything, it was an indication that an era of Nickelodeon was over. By 2016,
Man.
the original branding was dated, as all of the shows, except Spongebob and the Fairly OddParents, had ended. Another issue was that the concept for the resort was
Dude, what the heck happened to Nickelodeon? They had like absolute bangers. Genuinely, like Avatar The Last Airbender, Fairly OddParents, SpongeBob, like they had really good shows and movies.
flawed from the beginning. The Nick Hotel operated like an all-inclusive resort, similar to those found in tropical destinations. The problem was that the Nick Hotel was in the
Oh my
middle
god, I keep forgetting about Dan Schneider. I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
of Orlando. This made guests feel claustrophobic, as the resort was not sitting next to an ocean. They also wanted to go experience Orlando's many attractions. But for the price of the Nick Hotel, guests needed to stay on property to get their money's worth. However, these were all minor issues. The biggest reason for the debranding was Nickelodeon's new partnership with Charisma Hotels.
Oh?
This was created to build Nickelodeon resorts throughout the world. The company had never gone through with the plans for expansion with Holiday Inn, most likely due to the Nick Hotel not being a massive success. The resort was
course.
popular, but it was clear that the Holiday Inn concept wouldn't work outside of Orlando. The first Nickelodeon resort with Charisma Hotels would open in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic later in 2016. The new
What?
resort would have many attractions similar to the Nick Hotel, but it had a more
Okay.
elegant and subtle design and was located on a beach. The Punta Cana resort was met with glowing reviews, and another resort
Yay!
is set to open in Riviera Maya,
Wait, that looks so sick. Oh, I would stay there.
Mexico in 2019. Since Nickelodeon was focusing
The
on a more luxurious
pineapple!
resort brand, they decided to end their licensing contract with Holiday Inn. There was also one more reason for the closure. The hotel was not in great shape.
Oh no.
The Nickelodeon Hotel.
Dude, that is like this. All these freaking theme parks and hotels and resorts, all of these run into the same freaking issue. The corporations and the hotels, they're just so greedy. They don't want to maintenance anything. So everything gets like so out of date and it gets become very eerie and creepy. But at least it gave us liminal spaces. I'm not too upset about that. But still, like, come on, all you have to do is like fresh coat of paint, you know?
Years later, these images may be disturbing.
Okay. Oh. Oh my god. Ew. What is that? Oh. Ew. Dude, that looks like it's gonna break. Aww. Ugh. I say, if you make any type of resort or hotel, you should put in the budget to maintain it. I don't know why it's so insane for these places to never maintain their stuff. The Rockety fan. Oh my gosh. These aren't even that bad. It would just take some, like, a couple hours of maintenance. Ew. Bug. Those are bed bugs.
By
If you ever
2016,
see little plotches of blood on your bed, it's 100% a bed bug. Or maybe you, like, I don't know, scratched yourself in the middle of the night. But that's literally a bed bug exploding. Oh my god.
the Nick Hotel desperately needed a renovation. This meant either updating all of the Nickelodeon characters and properties, or removing them completely. The timing just happened to be perfect to end the contract. The resort was to receive a $30 million renovation along with the debranding. It was set to reopen on April 17, 2016.
Yippee!
However, construction delays pushed the project back nearly 2 months. Having been announced in January that it was to close, this put the Nick Hotel in a state of limbo for 5 months, and the hotel stayed open for most of the transformation. During this time, certain activities were discontinued, buildings were being repainted, and logos were being removed. The time capsule was once again
Aw.
dug up and moved to the Nickelodeon studios in Burbank. Less people were staying at the hotel.
What? They moved the time capsule to They moved the time capsule to California from Florida? Bro, they can't just keep moving a time capsule. That's the whole point of a time capsule.
During this time, and the resort felt abandoned. Many of the themed kid suites remained, despite the rest of the hotel being given a
Crimson
blue
Chin.
paint job and replacing all Nickelodeon
Wait, what is his nemesis called?
logos with Holiday Inn. Many of the TVs and appliances had not been replaced since the hotel opened. The mall area was almost completely silent, with many of the attractions and restaurants being renovated or removed. Finally, on June 1st, 2016, the resort reopened as the Holiday Inn Orlando Suites. The hotel still
Wow.
hosts family game shows.
Boring.
The food court reopened with some new restaurants. The water bucket is now dyed dark blue at certain times.
Oh.
The 4D theater now shows some generic movie. The laser maze is now themed to
Batman!
Batman. And the gift shop now sells both Nickelodeon and Disney merchandise. The prices have also dropped significantly, now typically below $100 a night for a room with a kid suite. The Nick
Okay.
Hotel was an interesting experiment to say the least, because it didn't not work. Attendance was consistent, it wasn't completely neglected by either company, and it avoided what would have probably been a disastrous expansion. At the same time, it wasn't perfect. The design was
Ah.
cheesy, the activities were immature, and there was little to nothing for parents. Plus, Holiday Inn, known more for having economical prices rather than luxurious facilities,
I
was probably
see.
not the best choice for the partnership. Nickelodeon made the right decision in partnering with Charisma Hotels, and it is
Okay.
possible that many new Nickelodeon resorts will open in the future.
I guess that is true. They called it quits before it went crazy. So that is true. Whoever made that decision, and But I still think, like, that's such a shame because I feel like Nickelodeon had so much potential. But I don't know enough about business to sit here and say that they would have been as big as Disney.
While these new resorts best the Nickelodeon family suites in almost every category, it is still disappointing to see such an elaborate entertainment experience disappear. Seeing the debranded hotel, a skeleton of what it once was, is devastating to those that stayed there and the many more that wanted to. While it might be gone, the Nick Hotel leaves behind a decade of memories of Nickelodeon fans having the best day ever.
Man, I wish I could have visited this place. No! Ba-bum-ba-dum-bum. Wait, is Defunctland's name Kevin? I think I just learned his name for the first time. Yeah, Kevin Perdiger. How do you say his name? Yippee! Oh. Yippee! Yippee! What a fun and amazing video. Man, I'm so sad that it doesn't exist anymore because I want to go see it. But I'm also curious about that time capsule that they dug up 3 times, but it's still not ready to dig up. I guess I have to go all the way to California to figure out how to get to that time capsule and check it out too. Thank you so much for watching this epic react video. I love watching the Defunctland videos. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to watch any other Defunctland or any other in general. I also stream on Twitch if you want to come say hi. I love when people come say hi from the YouTube. I'll make you a playlist on the left and you can subscribe on the right or down below. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Mwah. Yippee.